My loan's complete. You know what I mean? So my loan, I got what I wanted. This happened. I got what I wanted. Yeah, I got what I wanted. Let me get Carson. Did you hear commentary saying that some of Edison's saves was better than Dudek's, even though Martinez was shooting straight at Edison? To be fair, yeah. I mean, I don't recall any saves that Edison made in that game which needed him to go an absolute full stretch. Like, I didn't see Ramsdale save against Salah in the last minute against Liverpool at Anfield. I didn't see none of that. Or what I saw was balls getting straight to Edison and he's just parrying it away. So going by that, yeah. But at the same time, because of the occasion, it amplifies it up more because teams and players can just panic. You know what I mean? I found Inter very wasteful. When I knew that it was going to be one of the Milan teams getting into the final, I think I said in one of my videos, they ain't going to do fuck all. There has been. You know what I mean? They used to be great. They ain't going to be the same. They ain't going to be Man City. And then as it got close, I thought to myself, yeah, I wouldn't mind if Inter win this. Even though that I do want to laugh at United fans. But yeah, one of the worst things that Inter Milan have done is introduce Lukaku. Like, why would you want Stormzy up top? Like, he blocked. And then this is not the first time Lukaku's done that. I know he didn't do it on purpose, but this is not the first time where he has blocked his own teammate scoring. I think he did it for Belgium in the World Cup or Euros. One of them. He was absolutely woeful. You know what I mean? He was absolutely woeful, man. Absolute woeful. But my low move went perfect. My low move. It's done. That's it, fam. That's that. So I don't need to use that picture again. Because Man City did what I asked. Win a treble, shut United fans up. You know what I mean? Now we're going to have United fans on social media crying. But yeah, my low move's done. So let's get back to talking about Arsenal. So we're going to be facing Man City in a Community Shield, right? We know this fan base, right? That claimed that the League Cup was beneath them. We know they're going to be all over it. You know what I mean? We know they're going to be all over it. Yep, Shameless FC is done. My work's complete. And I heard these Georgia United fans saying Inter's past heritage football, heritage get them through. You see, the thing is with United fans, let me just touch on this, is that Man United are the English AC Milan. We all knew how great AC Milan were. Look at them now. That's Man United. That's all they are. That's who they are now. Man United are the English AC Milan. Depending on Arsenal's summer business, I might extend my loan at City. Arsenal aren't going to do anything in the summer, so if you want to extend your loan to City, then yeah, you're better off. Can't even change the thing. Yeah, you're better off extending your loan because Arsenal are not going to do what's necessary in this window. You know what I mean? We're not. The only rice we're getting is a bowl of it, right? Caicedo, not happening. But if it does happen, right, I'll be surprised. One. Number two, we're going to be looking at him and thinking, because he's going to stand out. So we're going to look at him and thinking, please don't get injured. Because if you get injured, then we're going to get crippled again. Wherever he's going to play, I mean, maybe we might play him as a right back if we sign him. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'd personally rather it change a little bit, play him as a right back in some games and play him as a midfielder in most of them, kind of thing. But I don't expect us to do what's necessary in this window because, you know, there is no way Jose Enrique is this Arsenal, is crack smoking Edu gonna bully teams to get in as a player? When do you hear of Arsenal bullying a team to get a big player or big name player or you know somebody of means especially within the Premier League. You know what I mean? It's usually that we'll take your discards. Oh, you're throwing that in the trash. Oh no, save it, mate. I'll take it. That's been us. We're not going to be like, oh no, we're muscling our way in to get this player. Nope, we don't do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But another question that needs to be answered, right? Another question that needs to be answered is, how long is this going to go on for? How long? This is the thing. Because you look at that list: Forest, Villa, Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, all won Champions Leagues. But this fan base, what does this fan base do? Oh, well, we got top 4, mate. What can we do next season? Oh, maybe we can secure top 4 again. You will never see these men talk about winning it. And if anyone brings up, I want to win the Champions League, we can't do that, mate, because we can't compete with Man City and Real Madrid, mate. That's what they'll do. And that's why we stay where we are. Notice how out of all those clubs, right, only Arsenal haven't won the Champions League. One-time finalists. You know what I mean? We are an embarrassment to Europe. I swear. I'm telling you right now, and I said this years ago, don't be shocked if Spurs win the Champions League before we do. Don't be shocked. You know what I mean? Because I know people will say, oh, well, Spurs are in Champions League next season. But are we going to win the Champions League next season? You know what I mean? Do not be shocked. Just don't. Just don't. Don't be shocked. Expect it. They get to another Champions League final. If they face a team that's, you know, if say, for example, I can imagine if Benfica have getting the Champions League and have that good season, that good wonder season, right, and getting the Champions League, and then Spurs, who have, let's say, for example, Spurs, you know, they're almost reborn, right, and they're looking like a bit of a force, and they get to a Champions League final, I can see them beating someone like Benfica. It'd be them kind of teams they'll beat. Can see it. Can see it. I'm telling you right now, the day Spurs win the Champions League, if it happens, they'll beat somebody like that. They won't beat a Real Madrid. They won't beat a Man City. They won't beat a Liverpool. None of that. They'll beat like a Galatasaray, a Benfica, an Ajax, them kind of teams. Them are the kind of teams. A Marseille or someone, they'll beat them kind of teams to win it. To win their first one. Them are the kind of teams we probably need to get if we're going to win it. You know what I mean? Because we ain't beating no unless this club is going to transform its mindset and the way it carries out transfers and the way, you know, the expectations of the club. Nope. AC Milan 7 Champions Leagues. Yep. They used to be great, and now look at them, and that's how we're looking at Man U. You know what I mean? Man U, an English AC Milan. That's all they are. You know what I mean? No, ironically, the colour theme's the same, red and black. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, red and black, and they have a bit of white in it, but whatever. That's all they are. But yeah, that's for Arsenal. Yeah, it's just going to keep going on. So who else is going to get added to this list? Who else is going to get added to it? Now, I reckon, right, and I know I'm going back, way back. I know I'm going back in the past, but I'm just doing it for, you know, this purpose only, the way I'm explaining it. Back in 1985, I think it was, when that disaster happened with Juventus fans that they blamed Liverpool fans for. that caused the fire that killed a lot of Juventus. I think I don't know how many Juventus fans it killed, but it was some fire that was caused, and it was a disaster, and Liverpool fans were blamed for it. So Juventus and Liverpool, well, as far as I know, Juventus don't like Liverpool because of that. That got English teams kicked out of the Champions League from late 80s into the early 90s. In my personal opinion, and my brother said this to me as well, in my personal opinion, had it not been for that, because Everton feel like they've been robbed a chance to try and win a European Cup, which they were, and so have we. Who is to say George Graham might not have won this club a European Cup during that period? You know what I mean? For all we know, had it not been for Liverpool fans and them having English teams kicked out of the Champions League in the late 80s, early 90s, for all we know, Arsenal could have had a European Cup won by George Graham. My opinion, he'd have been good enough to do it. You know what I mean? But I don't want to just blame Liverpool or anything like that. But end of the day, we have to look at it like that, as then we could have been in that to fight for it, but we wasn't because we weren't allowed. You know what I mean? It's just embarrassing that we're just going to keep seeing clubs win Champions Leagues, English clubs win Champions Leagues, and Man City are a new addition to that. So who's the next English club that's going to win their first Champions League before Arsenal do? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. Pump the likes up, folks. Yep. Get the likes up, guys. Conke told you his true intentions. He said he bought the club not for... Yeah, he did. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, Newcastle. Yeah. They were a club I was thinking about. Newcastle will be the one. But going back to this comment, yeah. Like, if you think about it, oh my days. Technically, like, when you collect the bigger London clubs together, lump them up together, and then talk about European success, even Spurs are outside waiting for us. Let that sink in. Even Spurs are outside waiting for us, like, fam, European trophies, what? What? Two Europa Leagues they won. You know what I mean? You got West Ham that just won European Cups recently. You got Chelsea, who have won in their history 2 Super Cups, a Club World Cup, 2 Champions Leagues, and 2 Europa Leagues. You know what I mean? That's European success. You know what I mean? We can talk about how Red London is all we want, but when it comes to European scale, we are an embarrassment because we don't even have Europa League to show for it. Now, the Intercities Flair Cup that we won in 1970, I think it was, we were the last to win that, and then it turned into Europa League. So if you was to look down the list of Europa League winners, you might see Arsenal in there. That's only because it wasn't called Europa League at the time. It was called Intercities Flair Cup. And then the latest European Cup we won, Cup Winners' Cup in 1994. 29 years and counting since we last won a European trophy, by the way. Since that final, we've got to 4 European finals and lost. Lost the Super Cup in 94. Lost the Europa League in 2000, or UEFA Cup, if you want to call it that. Lost the Champions League in 2006, and we lost the Europa League in Baku, fam, to Chelsea. Emmanuel Azerbaijan, fam. And we got smoked 4-1. You know what I mean? Embarrassment. But we're going to keep seeing this. Newcastle, yeah. I think Newcastle. I think it'll be Newcastle. Newcastle will be that next English club to win the Champions League before we do. I mean, and they'll probably win the Premier League before we do. Because I'm telling you, what Newcastle might be the ones that push Man City eventually. You know what I mean? Eventually. I'm not going to say they're going to do it next season, but Newcastle, I think they're the next up. You know what I mean? There's always going to be somebody. You know what I mean? It's just that the only place where Newcastle can go wrong is having the loser mindset. Like there was a fan that apparently when they were in the League Cup final against Man U, he was crying. He was a 60-year-old fan or something like that. So he was old enough he was been alive to know that while Newcastle have won a major trophy, he was crying because he was just happy to be at Wembley. So he didn't care about anything. He just cared about Newcastle being there. And that's that loser mindset. If Newcastle fans have that in bulk, that could go against them. Because then the fans will demand more. You know what I mean? Because for how happy Newcastle fans are to be in the Champions League, trust me as an Arsenal fan, if you keep being in it but you don't win anything, but you being in it is good enough, I'm telling you right now, you'll reach boiling point because you're going to want trophies. You will reach boiling point. So yes, I can understand Newcastle fans being happy of being in the Champions League, right? But trust me, start demanding trophies. All of you. Start demanding your club win a trophy. Man City will win more UCLs within the next few years. This one's the toughest. Now the pressure's off. They can do it. Definitely. You know what I mean? They're definitely telling you, Pep. I know Pep was saying about, we're only 13 behind Real Madrid. Watch out, Real Madrid will come in, kind of thing. It was kind of tongue in cheek, but there is some sort of seriousness behind it. You know what I mean? I don't know how old Pep is. 50 is it early 50s or something? You know what I mean? You're telling me he can't go on for another 15 years? You know what I mean? And if he stays at Man City, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? I'm not gonna say he's gonna win another 13 Champions Leagues, but because when you look at Fergie's time there, he only won 2 Champions Leagues, but he got to 4 finals. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, well, you look at what Pep's done for Man City in a short span. He could have another 3 Champions Leagues in him before he passes it on to somebody else to take over at Man City. There might be another 3 Champions Leagues in Man City, I think. And I don't think it will be a large gap either. Because usually when a club wins a Champions League, there's usually a large gap before they win it again. You know what I mean? Man United won the first European Cup in 1968. All the way 1999 is when the next won it. And then 9 years later, they won it in 2008. Right? You look at Liverpool, I think was it 84 the last time they won the European Cup before they won it in 2005. That's a large gap. And then after that, there was a large gap before 2019. Chelsea won their first Champions League 2012. They got to a final, 4 years prior, 2008. Won it in 2012. Didn't win it again until 2021. So you can see that there's at least like a 10-year gap, basically, before our team wins it again. I don't think it's going to be the same for Man City. I think, if not back to back, I think it's touching here and there. Man City, I think Man City now, they're gonna want to give a shit about winning at least the double, the Champions League and the Premier League. They'll at least care about that. They don't need to prove anything about the treble anymore. You know what I mean? I think Man City fans will take not winning the League Cup and the FA Cup for a while if it means that they win more Champions Leagues and more Premier League titles. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Pep, as long as he's staying there, if you give Pep another 10 more years, I think he's got another 3 Champions Leagues in him, minimum, for Man City. He does that. I'm telling you, if Pep was to win another 3 Champions Leagues for Man City.
Damn!
Honestly, just imagine everything that Fergie did for Man United. It's almost like it's been undone. I don't want to say undone in terms of taking away from him, because you can't take away what Fergie did for Man United, but he's done all that. And you'd never think that somebody else is just going to come in and do similar. Like, yeah, Pep's only won, like, what, 5 Premier Leagues for Man City? 4, 5, one of them. 2018, 19, 21, 22, yeah, 5. But what is all that he's done in a short span? You know what I mean? Like, Man United fans can't talk to him. So all they've got is numbers. Oh, we've won 20 Premier League. We've won 20 league titles. You know what I mean? Oh, hold on. Let me get to this comment first. Henry would have picked up a final trophy in an Arsenal shirt, but did not happen because these owners, Wenger and Emery, was not backed by the Kroenkes. I don't think the 2006 final had anything to do with them, to be honest with you. I won't put that. I just think with the 2006 one, it was just a case of, Henry didn't turn up to another cup final yet again. Unluckily, down to 10 men. You could say Wenger made the wrong sub when he took Perez off. Bergkamp was on the bench in that game. Yeah, it was. I won't put 2006 Champions League final on Wenger like that. But him not getting back there, I'll put that on him. Should be getting us back there. You know what I mean? Should be getting us back there. Yeah, let me get this next comment. 2006 and 2019 still haunt me to this day. We will never win in Europe while I'm still alive. Embarrassing. Well, unless we get a manager that's won a Champions League to manage this club, which we've never done yet. Never had a manager that's won the Champions League manage this club yet. And ironically, out of the big hitters in the Premier League, we're the only ones that have won it. You know what I mean? This is why I'm crying for people like Mourinho, Ancelotti, and them, man. You know what I mean? I want a manager that's got European pedigree like that. I don't even blame us getting smoked in Baku on Emery, because I saw how vexed he was. It was a bottle job of players on the night. Previous owners, Hillwood, who were broke, had more ambition than the Kroenkes. The thing is, as fucked up as the owners are, right? As fucked up as they are, we still got toxic, positive fan base, and AFTV is the warlord of it all. I'm not saying AFTV represent all Arsenal fans, but with their large platform, they have a heavy influence, especially on the younger fan base, and they're teaching them to have a loser mindset. This is why they can come out with bullshit like, oh, well, West Ham haven't had a better season than us. We finished second to Man City, mate. They've won a European trophy, mate, but we still had a better season. You know what I mean? That kind of stupidness. The noisy neighbours have taken over. They have. Manchester belongs to Man City. Facts. Man City could not win the league title for ages now. Umar. They've done your treble, fam. They've done Man United's treble. You know what I mean? Arsenal will become the 4th biggest club in England in the next 5 years because City will overtake. Yep. Facts. Unfortunately. No, Man City are only on 9 league titles so far. And they ain't slowing down. You know what I mean? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They just need 5 more years, right, of consistent league title wins, and they are literally bigger than us. You know what I mean? I don't think a Champions League makes a club necessary. It can and can't. You know what I mean? Because it's end of the day, the main thing is winning league titles. That's the main thing. You know what I mean? But if a European champion's enough, it can kind of outweigh when you think about it. You know what I mean? Like if like Chelsea have won what 6 league titles now in their history, they've got 2 Champions League now. If they were to win like another Champions League or another 2 to take them to 4, that kind of, you know what I mean? It's like, would you rather have 6 league titles and 4 Champions Leagues or 13 league titles and no Champions Leagues? It's like, well, you'd probably always pick the league titles, but when it comes to Europe, it's like we can't chat to anyone. We can't. Who can we chat to in Europe? We can't even chat to Spurs. We can't even chat to Spurs. Thank God I don't fuel the conclaves. I never have been to the Emirates and I hate AFTV. Been supporting Arsenal since the 1970s. Since the 70s. Well, yeah, 1970s. And this is the worst Arsenal I've ever seen. There you go, people. This is from an Arsenal fan that's been supporting him since the 70s. So he says it's the worst he's seen. You know what I mean? We've been top of the table for 93% of the season. And this fan base can sit there and make out we've had a successful season. And that is what's wrong with this fan base. We are yet to justify being in that stadium. The stadium that you see there behind me, we are yet to justify it. Literally. 4 FA Cups since we moved into this. So you're telling me, are you telling me, right, that Arsenal moved out of Highbury to move to the Emirates to win 4 FA Cups when we're told we're supposed to compete with Real Madrid and Bayern and all them, man? We moved here to win 4 FA Cups. We could have stayed at Highbury and done that. We haven't just... West Ham moved stadium and they've already justified being there. They've put themselves on the European map to a degree. We can say, oh, it's only Conference League. They're the 3rd best team in Europe. They're the 3rd best. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be the best, but West Ham couldn't be the best in Europe because they weren't in a Champions League. So for what they have, Europa Conference, they are the best of that. They are the best of it. Now they're in Europa League. Now they get to compete for the 2nd best in Europe. So West Ham have justified moving stadium more than we. You know what I mean? Arsenal fans deserve fans like you and Lee Gunner. Otherwise, your mentality would be down the drain. At least you and Lee Gunner keep it balanced. There needs to be far more fans like me and Lee Gunner in this fan base. There need to be. We need to spread out like a virus. We need to literally spread out and colonize this club and demand, look, we've moved stadium. We moved out of Highbury. All our success and everything at Highbury, right? We moved into this stadium because we're told where to compete with the best in Europe. Where to compete. Right, let's do it. And we're behaving as if we've moved into a smaller stadium. What's the point in this then? What's the point in that? Because if you wanna put yourself out there, it's like if you was taking part in like a bodybuilding competition, right? You want to look the best. You want to look the most muscular, whatever, right? That's what this is. This is look at our stadium. When it comes to European nights, this is what you walk into. This big stadium, blah 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 blah, right? We haven't justified it because we ain't doing anything in it. You know what I mean? Spurs didn't even deserve a new stadium as it is, but we know where they're going with that, so we don't need to worry about that. But us, been in this since 2006, and all we can do is talk about the golden trophy they won, which, as unique as of an achievement it is, especially in this day and age, right? It didn't happen here. It happened at Highbury. right? We haven't justified being in here. So far, in my opinion, we don't deserve this. We haven't earned it. Well, no, you could say we earned it. I won't lie. We did earn it because of what we were doing before. You know what I mean? But since being in it, you look back and you think to yourself, well, if I'd have known we were going to win only 4 FA Cups, then we'll just stay at Highbury. You know what I mean? If anything, we got to the Champions League the year we were saying goodbye to Highbury, right? It should have been a make or break. Win the Champions League and you get a new stadium. You lose the Champions League final, you stay at Highbury. That's what it should have been. You know what I mean? We left Highbury, right? And we lost the European Cup final, right? That hurts. You know what I mean? That Arsenal kit, that burgundy one, still the best Arsenal shirt ever, in my opinion. Still the best. You know what I mean? But we lost that Champions League final, right? We lost it. And that was our goodbye. That was like, you know, we waving goodbye to Highbury all those years. You know what I mean? All what we were doing, everything at Highbury. And we could have finished it off waving a Champions League trophy like, we've won this. This is our final present. You know what I mean? Win it in Paris, in Wenger's homeland. And it just didn't go like that. You know what I mean? Now, we know there was this thing about Barcelona getting in trouble and they could be stripped of all their Champions Leagues, right? And as much as we deserve to win that Champions League final, I mean, it just wouldn't feel the same. But I suppose I'd still take it. But I definitely want to see us actually win Champions League. You know what I mean? If that was to happen anyway, you know what I mean? AFTV Robbie was saying that we don't need to win the Carabao. Yeah, he's chatting. You know what I mean? He's chatting breeze. You know what I mean? He says we don't need to win it.
Stop the cap.
Robbie needs to stop the cap. He needs to stop the cap. You know what I mean? Because twos now. Them man were down there when we got to the League Cup final in 2018, and I still wish I chose to go to that final, just to, you know, just for that experience of supporting at Wembley and everything like that. But I just knew, one, I knew we were going to get brushed. Two, well, he did end up pissing it down that day. But I just knew that this team wasn't going to turn up. I knew that the way this team would play, they wouldn't justify me going down all the way down there to support that. But I still wish I went. You know what I mean? So I can be like, I've been to a cup final, so I know, you know, I've seen it kind of thing. I still wish I went, but I chose not to. Messaged the plug and was like, fam, nah, I ain't going. But yeah, Community Shield coverage from AFTV incoming, and I'm doing a reaction to it. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Like the video, guys. Stay tuned. When these man cover the Community Shield, I'm on it. Trust me. And I'm going to be in their comments saying, fam, we don't need this. Going by your logic, you don't need it. You know what I mean? It's already done. In case you haven't seen any of the reactions I've done, just go to my playlist and go under the Toxic Positive Arsenal fans. That's where I'm putting all the things I'm doing in there to talk about the fans, right? These man are going to be fully on it. And if we beat Man City, which Arsenal being Arsenal will beat Man City. That's the thing. Arsenal being Arsenal will beat Man City. You know what I mean? That's just what we do. Just what we do. We rarely lose a Community Shield. Last time we lost the Community Shield was Chelsea in 2005, right? We rarely lose a Community Shield. We win most of them. Put us in 10 of them, we'll lose 1 or 2 tops. You know what I mean? But we always win them. It's like 2014. We in the league, 2013-14 season, we lost at Man City 6-3, and I can't remember what the score was at the Emirates, but we didn't lose. And then the Community Shield in 2014 was smoking 3-0, something that we never did to them. You know what I mean? We never did to him in recent times. And then 2015, we beat Chelsea 1-0 in the Community Shield with Mourinho's Chelsea that won the league. You know what I mean? 2017, we beat Conte's Chelsea in the Community Shield after beating them in the FA Cup final. 2020, we beat Klopp's Liverpool on penalties in the Community Shield. You know what I mean? It's Wembley. Wembley is a funny thing, and it does funny things to us. So if we were to beat Man City 2-0 or something, just don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. You know what I mean? It's more expected. I'd be more shocked if we lose 3-0. You know what I mean? Because it's just Arsenal being Arsenal. But I know what these lot will do. I know what Robbie and all them lot will do. So that means we can win league then, because look what we did to Man City, mate, as the tide turned. That's what they'll do. Guarantee it. Guarantee you all. If we beat Man City in the Community Shield, the AFTV lot and everyone else was saying, has the tide turned? Does that mean that Arsenal are going to dominate now? They'll use that. They'll piggyback off that, as if the Community Shield has a meaning in terms of what it means that you're going to do in the league. You know what I mean? Man City lost the Community Shield against Liverpool, which I predicted would happen, by the way, right? And look what they went and did. Won a treble. You know what I mean? Community Shield is just that one game, but for me, it has a bigger meaning for me, because I recognise why you're in a Community Shield, and I recognise its purpose. It's basically you're the best, you're the second best. Okay, let's go head to head and let's see who's really the best. That's basically what it is. Just that because it's a shield, an octagon shield, you know, it doesn't get that love. If the Community Shield looked like a World Cup, I'm telling you, it'll be the most glorified competition ever. It'll be the most glorified one-game competition you can imagine. If it looked like the World Cup, if it was shaped like the World Cup, because it's a shield, it's a plate. You know what I mean? You don't get that kind of love. We ripped down our beautiful stadium hybrid, and we promised elite, and we promised we were going to be like Real Madrid and Barca. It was all a lie. I can say this: you don't want trophies. Yep. 4 FA Cups since we moved in here. What club moves to a bigger stadium like this and it only has 4 FA Cups to show for it while being in here? I remember when Man City, they were at Eastlands Stadium, but then they got the Etihad or something. They've justified what they've done to their stadium. And you look at what Man City have done around their stadium. You know what I mean? What they're doing for the fans and everything like that, around the stadium and everything like that. I'm telling you, as time goes on, because we're seeing more people in City shirts now, as time goes on, it's going to be lit to be a City fan as time goes on. You know what I mean? They're the only ones that want to win. Nobody else wants to win. You know what I mean? Nobody else wants to win. These AFC man are tapped, honestly. Only guys on there I really have time for is, to be honest, Turkish. Yeah, Turkish is sound. He has sense, and so does Yardman. I did a reaction to Yardman when he was on there. Even man troops, I can tolerate to an extent, as he's real with it, but rest of them, yeah, troops. Yeah, I got time. I got time for troops like that. You know what I mean? And I want to say I don't dislike anybody from AFTV. I just think that they need calling out when they promote toxic positivity. That's my thing, because they have a big platform, right? Just imagine a platform that had over 1 million. I don't know how many subscribers they've got now. I know they've got over 1 million, but just imagine a platform with over 1 million subscribers on social media, and it was a platform demanding success. Because these men don't demand success. These men are just like, oh, well, can we get top 4? You know what I mean? Just imagine an account with over 1 million subscribers on social media demanding success. Demanding that this club puts the standards on that, look, next season, what's the aim for next season? The League and Champions League. Not top 4 in FA Cup. No. That can be Newcastle's. You know what I mean? Now, of course, I want us to win every single competition that we're in. You know what I mean? But teams have targets. Some might be, I want to win the Champions League. Some might be, I want to win the league. Some might be, I want to win the League Cup. Some might be, I want to win the FA Cup. For example, West Ham's might be win Europa League. You know what I mean? Aston Villa's might be win Europa League, or are they in the conference? I think they're in the conference, Europa Conference, I think. You know what I mean? Spurs might be win the League Cup or FA Cup, or both. Right? Man U's might be win the Champions League, win the league, retain the League Cup, win the FA Cup. What will ours be? Because we know what City's going to be. What do you think our expectations? What do you think ours going to be? What do you think the players are going to say? What's your targets for next season? What do you think they're going to say? League and Champions League. Are they going to say that? Nope. They won't say that. You will not hear these players say it. You know what I mean? You will not hear players say it. No way, Jose Enrique. What happened? But that's what platforms like AFTV could do. They could turn around and say, no, win the league and win the Champions League. If not both, win one of them. But we're in the Champions League now, and this is what we wanted. We wanted to be in the top four, so we've got it. Now let's go and win the competition. What happened? So if and when we get blitzed, like the bottle jobs that we are in Europe, right? Once we get blitzed in the Champions League, more and more fans are going to get on board and realize the Spanish Brendan Rodgers ain't it. And then we can say, yeah, we've got us yet another one.
We got us another one.
Telling you. You know what I mean? So instead of seeing this constantly, we need to be demanding that we actually put ourselves on your left-hand side of that video. You know what I mean? So that we can we can then flex on everybody else that hasn't won a Champions League. You know what I mean? That's what we need to be. We need to be in that bracket. They wouldn't get press conference passes or interviews with Edu if they would demand success. Exactly. That's what they care about, the pockets. They don't give a shit about the club like that. You know what I mean? The ones that give a shit about the club the most are the ones that are in that kind of spotlight. I'm telling you, you will not see channels like mine. My channel's minute. I don't have no more than 300 subscribers. My channel's absolutely minute, right? But if you take, for example, Lee Gunner's channel, I think he's on 80,000, I think, subscribers. You will not see a channel like Lee Gunner's exceed 1 million like that. You won't. You know what I mean? Because what Lee talks about on his channel, it has people out of their comfort zone. AFTV is very comforting because when you fail, you're getting patted on the back, really, and being told, no, it's all right. No, we might have lost, but we're all winners, mate. You know what I mean? But channels like mine, Lee Gunners, is like, no, fam, we're losers, and we need to do better. And if you want to be the best, you have to. If the fans want us to be the best, you have to demand it. You know what I mean? This is why all season I said we ain't winning it. Nope. Got to do better than that. Got to do better than that. You know what I mean? I'm one of those fans. I'm one of those fans. As soon as we can see the goal, I'm like, nah, this ain't good enough. Ain't good enough. Shouldn't be conceding a goal like that. Blah. Nope. Got to do better. Because I know what better looks like. I know what that looks like because I've been watching other teams do it. You know what I mean? I've been watching Chelsea, Man U, Leicester, Liverpool, Man City. I've been watching them win a league title at least and do what's necessary. Us, flirted with the idea. Told man, we were just warming. We had the Premier League trophy in the microwave, and we're just saying, oh, just wait, I'm just warming it for you. That's all we were doing. You know what I mean? AFTV is more demanding in cloud days. The richer they got, the faker they talk. Yep, because I was watching AFTV back in them times. You know what I mean? And there was people from earlier that didn't like AFTV at the time. And even I thought to themselves, oh, these people are just haters. You know what I mean? They're giving fans a voice, blah, 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 blah. But then, you know, they went from Arsenal Fan TV to AFTV. They said it wasn't because of anything to do with Arsenal, but I swear I saw it say, oh, I don't know if it was on Twitter, but I saw someone say they had to change it. They had to remove because of the hostility around the whole Wenger out and all of everything like that. They had to like disconnect from Arsenal like that. So that's why they went from Arsenal Fan TV to AFTV or something like that. But yeah, then they start peddling out all this bullshit. And then I'm seeing some new faces on there. And I think to myself, you lot don't sound authentic at all. You don't. You know what I mean? There's people I'm seeing some people on AFTV now, and I'm thinking to myself, you lot don't sound authentic. You don't. Like, you can tell that if we were to get top 4 next season, if we were to finish 4th next season and win nothing, this fan base would be all right with it. And those non-authentic fans that AFTV have in their studio and whatever on a frequent would just be like, oh, well, we can just go again next season. Like, no. Like, fam, what's it going to take before you say, you know what? Sorry, Arteta. Julian has infected Robbie and infected lead judges. It's becoming scary. Part of the plan. You know what I mean? Like, these men have got bare money now. So now it's a case of, if you want to keep your money right, you're going to have to give away this a little bit. And that's what's happened. When the money piles up, you have some of this, you have to give it away. You have to sell it. And that's what happens. So the things that you would want to say, you can't say it. It could be, don't have to mean anything swear words or anything like that. It's just that you might want to say, no, we should demand success, and you know, this and this and this is not good enough, and what's Arteta doing, and this, that, and the other. But they can't say it. So on camera they'll say one thing, off camera they'll probably say something different. You know what I mean? But the way that we can just sit there and just be like, oh, well, the League Cup's a small trophy, or the League Cup's beneath us. What kind of bullshit? A trophy we haven't won in 30 years. Now they select carefully who's going to be in front of the camera. Was this supposed to be a channel about fans giving their opinions? Wasn't this the reason they debated Gary Neville? Oh, they started off, anybody could go on there. And then obviously when regulars started being regulars and it blew up their channel, blew up AFTV's channel, then they had to prioritize certain groups. So you could be stood right next to Robbie down at the AFTV with a crowd around him interviewing a random person, right? But Troops, for example, could be on the other side of the stadium. He could walk all the way down and scoop through all these fans and get an interview before any of them man waiting there. And that's not me having a shot at Troops. I'm just using him as an example. But that's what could happen. Now, I mean, before he was Troops, aka, you know, before we knew who he was, you know, before he became the personality, the person he is now, the content creator, right? Before that, he couldn't do that. He had to wait his turn. You know what I mean? So now, yeah, they select carefully now. They select very carefully. And that's what it's going to be. So when it comes to the Community Shield, after the game, if we win, you're going to get AFTV Julian on there saying, oh, we can get top 4. You know what I mean? We can definitely challenge for the league. We can definitely push Man City. Look what we did to him in there. Watch. Honestly, the accuracy I have on this. 6th of August, 2023, around about 5:45 minimum, provided it doesn't go to penalties, right? After the game's done, if we've come out winners of the Community Shield, with the trophy, hey, or the shield, right? AFTV outside the stadium. Oh, what? You know what I'll do? I'll reenact it. I'm gonna reenact AFTV right now on a Community Shield, right? Let's just say we win the Community Shield. I'm gonna reenact AFTV now, right? I'm just gonna be a random fan. That's random toxic positive fan, right? I'm not gonna pick on anybody on there, right? I'm gonna reenact it. So, Steve, we've won the Community Shield against Man City. We beat them 3-0. It was actually quite comfortable. I mean, Man City just didn't look the same, did they? I mean, Arteta got his tactics spot on, mate. What do you make of the game? Well, it was a fantastic game, mate. I mean, Martinelli went down wing and stuff, and he put it in top bins, and I thought, wait, mate, we can do these lot, mate. Have you seen what we did in there? You see? Man City wouldn't treble last season, mate. Took a lot out of them. You see, they're tired now, mate. You see? All that in there, mate. You see what we did to them? Fam. We can easily take these next season, and I think that we can win league based on what I've seen in there, mate. Never mind that this shambles of a transfer window we just had. Nah, never mind that, mate. What we did in there, mate, beating 3-0 so comfortably like that, mate. The league's ours, mate. Man say, move over. We're the best in town now, mate. We're the best. We're going to take you, man. You, man, are old news now. In a nutshell. In a nutshell. That's basically how it's going to go. And it's going to be a case of, well, you've heard it there, guys. AFTV, back at you in front of Wembley. You just beat Man City in Community Shield. I mean, who would have thought it, mate? I mean, 3-0 win, quite comfortable. I mean, the players defended well. I mean, our new signing at centre-back, I mean, I think we've got ourselves a golden one there, mate. I mean, that we cleared it off the line from Haaland, and they just didn't look in game, mate. And I think based on what I've seen enough to say that we're going to win the league, mate. You know what I mean? It don't matter about the transfer window. No, forget that. It's all about the Community Shield, mate. It's what happens at Community Shield. That's what tells you what's going to happen in the league, mate. And we're definitely going to win the league, and we'll get top 4, definitely. I mean, if we don't win the league, at least we'll get top 4. So, yeah. Basically, that's what's going to happen. In a nutshell. I mean, we are bigger when all Kroenkes clubs in America we are global, we are massive, we are my Arsenal, 70 clubs around the world, then after us. LA Rams only founded in 1936, we are 1886 heritage. Yeah, the Kroenkes, they don't give two hoots. You know what I mean? And this is what we all know, right? And there's been marches to get them out. But we have seen in more recent times that we are willing to put that bit of money in. But what's been the problem? What's the common denominator is the toxic positive fan base. You know what I mean? We could get new owners in that have a completely different mindset to the current ones now. But the same toxic positive mindset fan base is still here. And because they're not demanding success, when we fail, it's good enough. That's the problem. You know what I mean? I would take getting these toxic positive fans out of the club before the Kroenkes, simply because if the club is colonized with fans like me, Lee Gunner, and all yous that agree with us, right, that demand success, you know what I mean? It changes. Because now the players know, oh no, we can't just get top 4 and not win anything. No. We've got to win something. You know what I mean? Do you think the Man City players think that their fans will tolerate them not winning a trophy in a season? They haven't been trophyless since Pep's first season. You know what I mean? They won the trophy every single season. And they average 2 trophies a season. You know what I mean? So imagine if City were to go a season without a trophy. Like, the fans are going to get upset. It's going to be like the end of the world for them. But with us, well, we got top 4, mate. And the fan channel, AFTV, with over 1 million subscribers, pushes that. So then that gets colonized in the fan base. Then you get these fans everywhere. I might have to start rooting around TikTok because I know there's some fans on there. Start rooting around TikTok and gather all these toxic positive fans that want to try and upplay the season we had because, oh, well, we didn't win the league, but we've got top 4. You know what I mean? It's an absolute shambles. You know what I mean? It's an absolute shambles. But anyways, I think I'm going to leave it here because I did plan on this being over an hour because, you know, this is a live show. I might as well stick around. But big up to all using here and everybody that's liked the video. But yeah, obviously Shameless FC episode has been done and I've had to talk about Arsenal again because my loan is finished. So just to give you a little bit of a recap, we all know what Man City did.
Johnny Cage wins. Fatality. Johnny Cage wins. Fatality.
Yeah, man. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see more English clubs getting added to this list. But we all know that most likely it'll be Newcastle added to. All the Conquest clubs are winning. Nuggets are about to win the NBA. See, I to be honest, I don't keep up with American sports or Kroenkes clubs elsewhere. But I know, but I've known from what I've seen other people saying that the Kroenkes clubs, you know, they're all doing something. You know what I mean? It's like this fan base better start demanding success. You know what I mean? Because I wonder, I wonder if the fans of these other clubs that he owns around the world, over in America, I wonder if they demand success. You know what I mean? I wonder if they demand success. Are we the only ones that don't of the clubs that he owns? You know what I mean? Maybe City fans can tolerate a trophy this season because they have won so much and trust Pep and Shepman so to turn it around. Maybe, but if they were to win absolutely nothing next season, I think quite a lot of them will. I think quite a lot of them will look at it as well. You know, any of the toxic positive ones in that fan base will look at it as well. We did so much last season, so we can't expect them to keep doing it this time round. But other ones that will just demand constant success, like we should be doing, will look at it as well. We should have at least won a League Cup and FA Cup. We should have at least taken them on the way, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, they could do a 4-peat. Anyways, I'm gonna leave the video here. Yeah, I'm gonna break this down in parts anyway. So yeah. Anyways, shout out to you guys for staying with me here and watching the show. My next live show, I don't know when it will be, what it will be, but videos are going to keep coming anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. The videos are they're going to keep coming on this channel. But as for a live show like this, maybe when it comes to the Community Shield, and you know, the toxic positive fan base will start lapping that up, you know. But while talking down the League Cup, yeah, I think I'll do a live show then, and I'll do a live reaction to their shit. You know what I mean? Calling that shit out, and I might even comment on the post, reminding them of what they've said about the League Cup and everything like that on the way. So yeah, let me just get to his last 2 comments. When Chelsea and Man City picked up the UCL Cup before was pure torture, and next Newcastle, we are selling our best left back to our rivals. Exactly. It's depressing. Respect, brother. Yeah, respect to you, Don DeMarco. Anyways, guys, like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next live show. Peace.